are live.
Hey, hello.
Today we have Manuel on my left
Yes.
and Beverly on my right. So we are doing Piccadilly Grand live review for today.
First and foremost, this is a really unique development because this is the first ever JV between CDL and MCL. Not only is this a Resi development, it will come with a childcare, F&B and shops, which if you look in that area over there in the Farrer Park area, not many developments are like that. One of the biggest developments over there, City Square Residence, is pure Resi. And also Caristil, also pure Resi. What was the other one we were talking about that is kind of near Caristil?
Study,
yes.
Yeah.
Study is also pure Resi.
Yeah.
As Beverly mentioned, it's right next to the Farrer Park MRT itself.
That's correct.
In fact, it's linked to the exit E.
And if you actually go to the site now, you can see that the
This is a
hoarding,
picture from the site.
hoarding is up already.
Yep.
For those who want to have a better view, you can go to block 15, right?
We actually went to the actual site itself. It's actually a pretty long site.
Yes.
It's along the race course road.
Yeah.
So as you can see from the left to the right, you see that's an MRT link. That's a direct link. Yeah. So we were told that this facade, the exit E, will be preserved.
Yeah,
And
and,
facade will be
and
preserved.
sheltered as well, actually, to the development. Right, the shape of the site is very reminiscent of key residences, very longish, you know. So I suppose it will have a lot of north-south orientation units, which we will see later on.
Right.
Okay.
The total number of units, right, is about 407 residential
correct.
units, plus childcare, plus F&B and shops. One thing that I want to highlight over here is that it has a very rare door key 4-bedroom. I think this is one of the new condo that take into consideration that post-COVID, most people might need a bigger space, as well as this post-cooling measure, higher ABSD. So
That's
the
right.
developer built this 4-bedroom door key.
Because during the developer's brief, right, one of the highlights that I mentioned to us was that because of ABSD these days, right, buying a 4-bedroom door key allows you to buy a 3-bedroom and a studio without coming up with the ABSD actually. And anywhere in the market right now, 4-bedroom door key is very rare. At the top of my head, I cannot think of any. I know where to find 3-bedroom door key, but I don't know where to find 4-bedroom door key right now for new launches.
It's very rare.
Before we move on, regarding the unit mix, right, I think it's also pretty rare because it's not a big development in the first place, only 407 units, but yet it comprises of every unit that you can think of, from 1 to 5, which I don't see in a lot of developments, which also means those larger units you can see over there, for example, the 4 and the 5, right, is very rare in the development, and scarcity brings value.
What captured my attention, right, was that actually this is a project by CDL and MCL. This is the first time they are collaborating. Direct access to Farrer Park MRT. And you have this childcare, everything as mentioned. I can imagine that this project, right, the profile will be likely for investor, right, and for people as young as Bev, because Bev is a young millennial, so I think they will want to have the max convenience itself. But I think for Manuel, because Manuel has 2 young kids, so I'm not sure, based on your profile, will you be interested in this project? In my biased opinion, for parents with young kids, they will want a proper residential place where the kids can run around on the maybe landscaping, so there's no traffic, there's no commercial shops.
As a parent, for sure, you're definitely going to be looking out for childcare. You know,
Oh yeah, this is one thing that
it's going to be very useful to you when you're moving in. But I think what is more significant is the proximity to MRT, because kids don't drive, right? They're not going to be driving till they're at least 20 or 21. So having the MRT right next to your development, regardless of where the area is, right, is so crucial.
Yeah, this is really one factor that mitigates this one. This imagine just dropping your kids at the childcare and you can take a train to work.
Yeah,
It's really
I
amazing.
think it's so useful, man.
Yeah.
When I saw this, right, I thought like, wow, the developer really has every single profile thought out.
Yeah.
When they created this layout from 1 bedroom all the way to dual key up to a 5-bedroom, right? So they know that they're going to attract both a fair amount of like investors and also family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was talking to one client, he was saying, wow, everything good, CDL, good, profitable, childcare good, near MRT good, everything is good. Probably the price might be also good.
Might be good, Hey, but what is a good price is very subjective, right?
Correct.
You know, what is expensive to you is reasonable to me. I would say cheap, I would say reasonable.
Yeah, we leave the price discussion to the later stage.
Hey,
I just thought like, wow, really has everything.
Yes.
An investor in a project is always good because it will like really start to churn the price up for you.
A little context first. So I think not many people know that the whole reason why it's called Race Course Road, right? Because literally it used to be a place for horse races over there actually.
In the mid-19th century, a lot of the Englishmen, the old ancestors, hold horse racing competition at Farrer Park. So you can see that actually the field there is actually still intact. It's a very big piece of green land there as well. So nearby streets were named after famous London business. We can't really pronounce the name well. Maybe to
We had to Google. So
Northumberland
and Gloucester.
Gloucester.
And there's also Oxford Road somewhere else,
Yes,
somewhere
correct,
nearby. Yeah.
So this Piccadilly Grand was chosen to reflect this rich culture.
So anytime you're in the Farrer Road area, Farrer Park area, and you wonder, wow, why the place here all sounds so England? Well, that's the reason why.
Yeah,
you know?
it's actually a part of our history, right?
Yeah.
The former race course was there.
Yes.
Still a very big piece of land.
Yep.
And this is the area just next to it.
So on the right of the side, right, is where you will see the very historically significant precinct, right? That's where you have your Racecourse Road, and then that's where you have a lot of eateries over there, primarily. Some boutique developments, and basically the heart of Little India.
So Manuel and Dennis, I asked you, so that now there's a huge space at the former racecourse field. Do you think they'll build more like residential or buildings in future? Or they'll keep it open?
I think that anytime you see an empty piece of land in Singapore, right, it's always open for redevelopment.
The developers or the architect has a lot of thoughts for this project because it's in a very rich culture, very rich heritage area. So actually they went around to search for this old and new rough textured design. Let's get some inspiration so that it blends into the whole culture area itself.
During the architect's brief, I can sense that it's going to be a merge of the contemporary and also keeping in mind the historical significance of the place. So yeah, old and new, I think it's a very good way to describe the architecture design actually.
Anyway, a lot of floor plans are not fully out yet. So along the way, we will release information once they are available. So for those who are interested in this project, to get more information, the floor plan, the full pricing, or even the details, just give us a text or WhatsApp us at the number below. A lot of vision given by the developer. So we focus on this top four.
Most significantly, the direct link to the MRT, which I believe is the single selling point of this development. Not only MRT, but it is an underground station, which is a big difference as compared to Pasir Ris 8, where there's an above ground MRT station.
You see from this picture, right? Actually, that's the MRT, the facade. That's the exit E. So this facade will be preserved. This is the actual site that we took as well. This is exit E. Same thing. The hoardings are up with D. So this facade will be preserved. It's a very big, long piece of land.
Shelter will stay as well. That's very significant, given our rainy climate.
And I totally understand what Manuel is saying about the underground, because then there wouldn't be any noise, right?
That's correct.
Yeah,
that's correct.
And you see, right, from this exit E, where the arrow is, actually there will be an underground link. That means you cross the MRT and head towards this exit H, where there will be City Square Mall itself. So actually, it's a lot of maximum convenience for you.
Yeah. So meaning to say, even without the commercial component for Piccadilly Grand, you still have City
So if
Square Mall.
City Square Mall is not enough for you, we have this Piccadilly Galleria. This is actually the commercial component.
The F&B, the shops, and the childcare center will be part of Piccadilly Galleria.
So when you reach the first floor, right, the childcare, the retail, the F&B will be on the first floor. And the residential part will start from the level 4 onwards. Level 2 and 3 are car parks.
I'm a little fan of those like multi-story car park that is underneath the development, because what that means is that you're above ground. So even the ground floor unit here, you can expect a little bit of views actually. You know,
MRT plus childcare really attracts me into the phase where I have to drop my kids at childcare. No matter how near, 10 minutes is still 10 minutes, and you drive there 10 minutes, come back 10 minutes, and find a place to park or drop there 5 minutes. That's about 25 minutes safe.
And at level 23, it is not what we would call a low development actually. It's pretty for that area, it's pretty significant actually.
The third thing is the views and orientation itself.
I heard during the developers brief that there is going to be a certain view that will allow you to view MBS actually. So how that will be, that remains to be seen actually, because I'm very afraid of over-promising MBS views.
Basically, there will be 3 integrated blocks. They will be staggered in a north-south orientation. So no west sun issue. For those who are concerned about west sun, no west sun issue.
Also want to point out that the way that they built it, they try to minimize overlapping of the units. So you look at the corners of the, I can imagine the corners will be reserved for the bigger units. That's why they will have the unblocked views, especially the left of each of the blocks. In terms of the best view, probably block 3, the north facing of block 3, because nothing in front of it actually.
For those who are more concerned with views, So we'll show you what are the views. Right in front, there's a east and southeast. This will be facing the low-rise buildings. Maybe I show the video, which will be better. This is the actual site, right? It's a 39-second video. So this is we'll be seeing Farrer Park. This is a northeast view. So with this Farrer Park Medical Center in front, it's likely to bring more tenancy. More tenants means better. This is a construction site. Works being done with it.
And actually, just one thing to highlight also, right? I don't know if I'm right in saying this, but that road, right, is not very busy, actually. It's not really very busy. So people were concerned that Khao Ching Malu is right next to the road, right? It's not really that busy, because I've been there on a few occasions. Even on weekdays and weekends, I don't really feel like the traffic flow is really bad over there, actually.
But to be fair, if you want somewhere near to the town or the city fringe, you cannot expect it. Wow, I want a lot of land around.
Wow.
I think busy is like also quite subjective, right? Because like after all, there's a lot of eateries over there. It's also like the kind of like a cross section between town and other residential areas. So I think traffic is quite expected. But when you live in a project, right, as convenient as just taking a train, actually maybe you don't even need to drive.
Oh yeah, that's true.
This is the lifestyle. There are 3 clubhouses. It's kind of separate out the crowd in 2 different areas. And there's this in clubhouse 2, there's co-working lounge. So it's really a very post-COVID work from home lifestyle itself.
Which is quite the rage these days because a lot of developers these days incorporate the work from home element into their facilities these days. Well Hill Residence is a very good example actually. Level 24, I remember, is the co-working lounge for Well Hill.
So interesting. I actually, because there's no project that has a co-working space yet, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder what is going to be in that lounge. Like, is there going to be a printer, pantry?
I think moving forward, for those new launch, they will have to take into account this work from home.
I think what's going to happen is they're going to be providing Wi-Fi for those spaces. Then they're going to be like little work booths, like you can take your laptop and just work over there,
Okay, let's move on. So these are the 5 zones. So we don't go into details, but basically there are these 5 zones for different needs. There's this lab pool, there's a family pool, there's function room, block distance. Maybe Manuel will touch on that.
Sure. So I think for a development like that, it's inevitable that there'll be units facing each other. Actually, what you do not want is something to be so close. I think distance of 20 to 25 meters is actually okay. Just think of a 50-meter lap pool cut into half as the distance between the blocks. I think it's not too bad.
And then they really keep all the largest units on the corner for the unblocked view. Save the best for the largest.
It's always like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for this project interior design, a lot of these are not finalized yet, so we'll not be able to show you the details, and we're not going to bore you with the details as well. So we just go through quickly for this part. For those who needs the latest floor plan or this design, just WhatsApp us the number below. Be beautiful and be bold. So that's for different bedroom type itself.
I just want to make a joke. If you can buy a 4 and 5 bedroom, right, it means you are really bold, man.
This is a kitchen design.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Speaking about being bold, right, for the type D and E, which is the 4 and 5, right? So what you're seeing is what we call the dry and wet kitchen concept, actually. So typically these days, a dry kitchen would be just a countertop outside of the wet kitchen. But to be fair, a real dry kitchen should have cooking facilities on the countertop.
Kitchen appliances.
Yes.
Mostly Bosch. This is a bathroom design.
Oh yes. But what we can share is that there are going to be only 2 show units for Piccadilly Grand. It will be the 2-bedroom plus study and the very rare 4-bedroom dual key.
This is the wardrobe design.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
The classic side panel for the master bedroom wardrobe. Which a lot of developments have these days.
This is a floor plan. So for, as Ashley mentioned, it's a 2-bedroom plus study and a 4-bedroom dual key. Do you want to touch on the 4-bedroom dual key?
Sure. Okay, so essentially the 4-bedroom dual key, right, is just think of a 3-bedroom mixed with a studio unit. And the studio unit is a true studio unit. Why? Because there is a kitchenette in the studio unit actually. So it's self-sufficient by itself. You can actually rent it out as a proper 1-bedroom because they also have their own balcony. So just imagine you're staying in your 3-bedroom and you're collecting a rent of maybe like 2,000 to 2,200 a month. I think that's pretty significant actually, not a small sum of money actually. So the 4-bedroom dual key, very ideal for those looking for a little passive income while using it for your own stay.
This project will be launched on the 16th of April.
Yep.
So if you want to see the show flat, just give us a text in the number below.
Yep.
So we'll arrange for you, and we will help you based on your budget and your preference, like phasing, which bedroom is better, and which is the best floor plan or unit for you. We'll do our best to help you shortlist the best unit itself. Yeah.
Because the unit mix is so varied, right? We are pretty sure that there's going to be something suitable for you. Hey, you don't like the 3, right? Hey, I got a 2. Don't like the 2, I got a 1+ study, you know. There's definitely something for you.
Manuel is an expert in reading a floor plan and the phasing itself. So he will choose the best
I
unit
won't
for
say
you.
I'm an expert. I think I'm okay, you know. I think I'm
Sometimes I also like think that this kind of project, right, because it's so attractive, it's so investor driven, right?
Yes.
That a lot of small units will be gone on the first day.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. I believe so.
And this 4-bedroom dual key is also, I think it's because it's so rare.
Yeah,
when I
it's so
first
rare.
saw this, right, with for the studio with kitchenette, toilet,
Yeah.
quite a large bedroom, right,
Yeah.
and large bedroom space, and then a balcony.
Yeah.
I think if I were a tenant, I totally don't mind staying there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And even if you don't want to use it for passive income, right, it can be multi-generation living too.
Correct.
You know, in-laws or a very close family friend staying by the studio and the family staying in the main unit, you know.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to the top buyer questions we have? Right. Let's start with an easy one.
Oh, easy. Okay.
Easy.
Okay.
Wow, we are going to predict walls now. Okay.
This is a quite common objection or concern by a lot of buyers. We have this cooling measure. Will the price drop after the cooling measure last October itself? And now with this European war itself, will that add a lot of pressure?
Yeah.
So I have my views. Maybe Beth, you want to take this question?
For me, is it a good time to buy? I think right now, depends on what you want to buy, right? Because we also know that like property prices is really right now at an all-time high, right? It's all-time high. Whether you want to buy a resale or you want to buy a new launch, I feel like it depends on your needs already, right? And for some resale prices, sellers are asking as high as a new launch, right? So for me, like if I were to pay the same amount of money or just a little bit of top up, I will go for new launch. That's just me because I'm coming from more of like an investor point of view. But if you have family, you got needs, right? You need to move in immediately. Then I guess you must buy lah. So it's not a good time or not lah. So good time to buy. I think there's no good time to buy, but there's a right project to buy. Yeah.
Totally agree. Because I think to really answer this question, right, it should be is there a right product for me?
Yes.
Rather than is the price good enough for me? Because what I realized is since the December cooling measures, right, there are units that actually achieve 100% sell out. You know, Affinity is one of them, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think we really got to cover a bit. It's like not good time to buy anything, but good time to buy the right product. You must do your calculation properly lah.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, don't overcommit.
Yes, financial calculation must come in so that you know that you can afford the mortgage itself.
Correct. Don't FOMO and then buy something like
Yeah.
anything, because you know, like sometimes people say buy property, maybe you don't do it properly, right? You really lose money.
Yeah.
But if you do the proper preparation and calculation, then I think that is like a safe and wise way to do things.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on?
Yeah,
Next question.
I think we didn't answer about the European war.
European
I
war,
think it's the same thing lah. The war will just add on inflation. So
inflation.
cooling measure, people might expect, hey, will the price drop? You and the war come, people will say, will the price drop? For me, I like to buy when the people are not buying. Just imagine if I remove these two factors, no more cooling measures, no more war, you can see the drove of people going to the show to buy. And sometimes for a lot of projects, right, you cannot even, you got the numbers, but you cannot buy because your number is just too far away. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
So for me, I like to do a reverse psychology effect. When people are not buying, I'll go in.
Can I say something about Ukraine war?
Sure.
Because I realized that started on 24th Feb, sometime around then.
Yeah.
And then after that, because I buy stocks, and then the price is so painful to watch it every day. But last week it can't recover. But like at 14 March, right, I think it was the lowest of the low. Then in my head, I was thinking every day I check the price, my stock price keep going down.
My advice is don't check for now because when
Yeah.
it's a war, no matter how good your strategy is, the stock will be down.
Correct,
So
correct.
this is just the period itself.
Yeah.
So if you check every day, you cry.
No.
yeah.
So I was just thinking like, actually this really remind me that portfolio diversity is very important because like while my stocks are going crazy, right, actually at least I still have like a property investment that I know is like steadily still growing in prices. It's not ready yet, but like by the time it's ready, I get the keys. I know that there's a certain level of like profit I'm making at already. So I'll diversify.
Are the shops managed by one operator?
Yes, the short answer is yes, it is actually. From what we understand during the architect's brief, it is not sale. So which is very significant because it means that there's going to be one operator, which means that the diversity or the mix of the shops will be very well managed.
Actually, what this buyer is concerned is that so if the shops are being operated by just one operator, so they'll control the unit mix itself, so that they will have a better clientele. There'll be some F&B, there'll be other services, so that you attract more crowd inside. For one operator, will be best.
Retail shops that are controlled by individual owners, right? It's a very significant difference. The feeling and the vibe is just very different.
The question is located in Farrer Park or Little India Estate, any potential?
Well,
there's even one buyer will ask me, hey, this is quite near to the Little India itself. Will it be overcrowded or experience high traffic? Little India is a very popular place for the tourists. And now with our airports are open, so likely will bring more tourism and more foreign workers will be working there as well.
Since there is more of a heritage estate, right? Say like Little India or Chinatown or even Kampong Glam. I think very few people will actually think of it as like a residential area. They think of it more like a commercial or even more like even hostel, right? A lot of hostels are there. So no, maybe if you are a buyer looking at it to buy for family to stay, then you think like, okay, why do I want to stay here? But we also see that like in the last couple of years, there is the most recent one is like Uptown at Farrer. And then they also have larger unit types as well, like 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, right? To cater to families, of course. And then you think, really got families to want to stay there. That because it's such a different crowd altogether, right? Then actually yes, right? Because last year I had a friend who actually bought there, and I asked him what is the reason you buy in Farrer Park? Because it's very random. Then he said because actually his child need to study in Bukit Timah stretch. But Bukit Timah is too expensive.
Okay.
But because Farrer Park is really at the edge of CCR, to drive there, right, it's very, very near, just 15 minutes. Or even if they take a bus, I don't think it's going to be very far. School bus also, I think, reachable. So I think this is like really an alternative for parents who want to go into any of the school in Bukit Timah, Newton area or Novena area, but that estate is just, they got priced out lah. So I think this is a good substitute. And I think one more thing about this place is that I realized the rental yield over there is extremely high.
That's very high.
Yeah, even for the very small project over there, right? Easily 1 bedroom can fetch how much? Like, you know, three?
I think
yeah, very small one, right? Easily.
Yeah.
Then I saw Uptown at Farrer, the lowest for just 2 bedroom, 500 plus square feet only. The lowest rental over there is $3,000. Highest is 3,008. Yeah, 500 plus square feet only. Like you think nobody want to stay there, but people paid 3,008 for it. And I think back then when they bought it at a pretty good deal, right? When they first launched, about high 900K. Yeah, so the rental you easily make up to about 3-4%.
Those are really good returns.
Very, very crazy. It's mind blowing.
Okay, different products will have different buyers. So for someone who like quiet, who like to be near to the green space, or you like to see mountains and seas, or this is probably not for you.
Yeah,
it's different product.
I think so.
Because on the other extreme of for mixed development, people who buy them are either for investors who buy them for rental, or they want maximum convenience. I want to live near the shops. I want maximum convenience. I want to be near MRT. The other extreme of this mixed development will be likely a freehold condo that's a boutique apartment, less than 20 units, got private lift. So you have minimum neighbors, minimum contact. It's very quiet. So these are two extreme.
I can see the newer condos like really being occupied by the younger crowd. For the more elderly, I think they'll prefer somewhere quieter, smaller, not so busy. More greenery probably.
And another way to check whether there's any potential in the estate, you always look at the performance of the past launches over there. So we don't have all the details and the facts and figures right now, but if you look at how other launches like Sturdy Residences, Carisdale, City Square Residences, you see how they perform, you see their profit margins, you would know that this place has its potential. Actually.
If you want to know the details about how does the surrounding new launches that have TOP perform, give us a text or number. Of course, the number below, it can give you a very detailed analysis. Okay, pricing.
Yes, the $1 million question. Pricing. How high, how low will it go, right? Well, as of this moment, we don't actually have anything official from the developer yet. What we can tell you is the land price, 1129 PSF PPR. Okay. You can make your own estimated guess. For myself, right, I feel that seeing as how RCR has been performing the past few years or so, right, as you can see over here, these are actually going to be the new benchmarks moving forward. You know, on the left you have those land beats, won before the cooling measure and after the cooling measure. On average, right, almost everything is selling at 2,000 and above. You know, whether you're OCR, whether you're RCR, you know. So I think that for all the positive attributes that Piccadilly has, if they're going to be selling at around the 2,000 range, actually, I think it's a great bargain. Actually,
2,000, yeah.
So that means your guess would be 2,000. Is that right?
I think because smaller units means higher PSF, right? So I think you mix that all in together on average, if it's the 2,002 PSF, it's a bargain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because we initially wanted to play a game to let like everybody guess but it's okay.
My bad.
No. But I think now it's okay. So we say higher or lower lah. Okay lah, but I think manual is very very close. I think to entice like buyers, right, they'll probably put starting price from 21XX PSF.
Yeah.
And then they'll price up all the way to 2003.
Yeah.
Right.
The official pricing is not out yet. Yeah. So for those who want to know the latest pricing, just give us a text or WhatsApp up below. But I think overall, right, if you divide the whole Singapore into like what Mary mentioned, this OCR and RCR, the price will keep on chasing up. So right now, OCR is quite near to 2,000. So RCR no choice has been pushed up, and this CCR also be pushed up to break 3,000, even 4,000 itself. So I think for an RCR area, as a guide, no matter where you are, 2,000 plus, at least 2,000 is going to be the future new prices itself.
This map that we have over here, right, actually is a mix of all the three different regions actually. CCR, OCR, and RCR. Also a mix of them. Some might be launching this year. Most will be launching next year. So as you guys can tell, moving forward, all launches, it's just going up. Nothing's coming down really.
That's the fact is that as the land price, the bidding for land cost is going up. So honestly, if you ask yourself, do we expect our salary to go up? You hope that our salary will go up. And looking at all the prices of inflation, all our staple food, haircut, your food, your eggs, your petrol, all are going up, and GST is going up. So there's no way you can turn back the clock to go back to old prices. So it's there's no way you can turn back. That's for sure. Okay, so that's the end. Come to the end of our this review. So if any questions, can give us a text at the number below. Okay, give us some comments now.
Yes.
So this is our first time doing a Facebook Live as well as a YouTube Live together with three of us. So might not be the best arrangement, but we'll try our best. So
that's why we are like seated like this, packed like sardines.
Well, I hope this has been, for those who are watching, I hope this has been a little bit educational and a little bit entertaining at the very least, and there's some takeaway for you guys. As Dennis had mentioned quite a few times, if you're interested in making an appointment for Piccadilly Grand, and if you want to find out more details, just drop us a message or give us a call.
Yeah, and really it's only 15 minutes. There's only so much that we can talk about, right?
Yeah.
For us, I think one of the reasons that put us three together is that we are the very direct and honest agents who give you a very fair appraisal. If you can buy, we tell you can buy. If your income or your financial doesn't support you, we also advise you otherwise. It's not really the must buy, must sell kind of agent. So give us a call. We'll do our best to solve your problem. Be it rental, buy or sell. That's where our forte. So thanks for watching and see you.
And good night.